everybody? TK here, TK and Drinks. We got a Thursday night and Tuesday night. We got a Thursday night live stream coming at you today. This is my first live stream on YouTube in a significant amount of time. So today we're hoping to get some people watching and see what we can't see if we can't bring some of my audience over from the Instagram, kind of get the whole TK and Drinks live stream thing switched over to the YouTube platform. Really trying to bolster my YouTube presence and have that all felt and whatnot. So really excited to be here. I appreciate anybody popping in whenever they do, either in the live stream or certainly afterwards. That's always appreciated, all the views and everything. So tonight we're again just doing like a test run of this whole live stream process. I've got my live stream running through a third-party source, so I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work. Usually when I do this on Instagram, I can like see who's popping in, and I can talk to people directly because it shows me. YouTube doesn't necessarily do that, their platform, but I'm really hoping that third-party platform I have stream is going to, be able to kind of do some sort of conglomeration of those things. But until it happens, we won't know. So anybody that pops in, if you're seeing this live, please go ahead and let me know that you're here. I would really appreciate the technical feedback. So tonight, I guess the test run is going to be of an episode of That Mead Show. So I'm going to be getting into a live mead review. We're going to be doing some mead competition reviews of some things that are happening in the mead competition world. And we're going to get into a couple news-related things going on in the mead world, kind of say low-key stuff, just some things that may not be on everybody's radar. So you can bear with me real over onto the Instagram. Here is lost. Hopefully that's not too long. About and drinks live on YouTube is that lost connections and stuff, because unfortunately I do have to be on my hotspot where I'm at currently. Once I get onto a stable internet connection, I think it'll do a lot better. But for that, we're definitely going to before that, we're definitely going to experience some technical difficulties. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a little recording on my camera here for the live, so I can share that on my Instagram stories. Oh, that's just a picture. Discard that picture. I was hoping for a video. Nope, it's not gonna let me do that. Story. I guess we'll take a picture. See, got my picture. That's me. We're doing this. Gonna go ahead, take that over real quick. Add to the story. Share. Uh-oh. It's just a picture. Now my story's just a picture of me going, and I didn't get to add any text or anything to it. So I guess that'll be fun for everybody. You know what? We're gonna let it be what it is for tonight. Hopefully, like I said, I get some people popping in. I can see that my Bluetooth microphone is working. Looks like my camera's got some nice clarity. The colors are really not what I was hoping for. It's a little yellower. I like a little more kind of neutral tone lights. This is making me look kind of like, say, jaundice or anything, but definitely putting a little more yellow in my skin that the light is producing than I was hoping for. But it is what it is. All right. So first off, what we're drinking tonight, got a beer here, got a nice KBS. And you notice I did unmirror the screen so y'all can see what's going on and read everything. I think that's really important, especially since I'm always holding stuff up to the camera and it's always coming out in mirror mode. So hopefully this makes it a little easier for everybody to read. So we got a nice Founders Kentucky Bourbon Stout. This is a 12% stout, bourbon barrel aged. It's delicious. It's probably one of the best grocery store beers you can buy out there, in my opinion. Really happy that it's available, and I know it's summertime and not everybody's really into like big, dark, heavy beers, but it is what it is. Oh, holy crap, Miss Cynthia. Appreciate you popping in. It's been forever since I seen you on here, or seen you at all for that matter, especially in a live stream. So glad that you're popping in. Oh, you want one, you can get those. They are available in Arizona, assuming you are still there. craft beer quick stop not too far from you, 7th Street and Union Hills. Those are my dogs over there. So I've been phenomenal. Thank you for asking. How have you been? Hopefully retired from that horrific war zone that was the place where we used to work at together. So it's definitely good to know that I'm getting some people coming in, be able to, the live stream is coming through. How's the quality of the video? How's the quality of the audio? Is everything coming through clear and smooth? Nothing all choppy or anything? God, you wish. Yeah, I know it's not always easy to get out of the work monster, but I think you got to be pretty darn close by comparison to before. Because I know you're not pulling all the way out. Stupid. So we got a champagne bottle here, so my opener won't grab all the way onto this lip right here. So it's definitely causing me a little bit of headache. Always hurry, hurry, hurry. It's always hurry, hurry, hurry with those cats over there. Wow, this is like making me look like a punk ass right on live stream. And in front of my wife more, or less importantly, I don't know how to look at that quite so. Whoo! Got it. So all this struggling to open this bottle is for tonight's mead review. So tonight I'm going to be doing a live review of, it's called Tao's Beast. This was from my buddy Stephen Clifford. He's up in I believe he's in Michigan. He's hooked me up with several bottles of mead from some friends in the area. I think he actually might be in the Ohio area. He's Ohio, Michigan area. I know he lives near Toledo, close enough to drive to Toledo. And this is actually a lemon hopped mead, sitting at 12.6%. This is bottle number 20 of batch 1. I was really hoping he was going to pop onto this live stream. I told him I was going to be doing this eventually on one of the lives, but I'm not quite sure how many people over on the Instagram got the message. I've been posting about it, so hopefully it happens fairly quickly. And I don't know how quick these video comments are coming in. Ooh, cool. Hey, yeah, there's another person. So see, this one, that's what I don't like about YouTube compared to Instagram. Instagram tells me when people pop in. Doesn't necessarily tell me when people leave or how many times they pop in. If they pop in once, it just shows that they pop in. So I'm definitely excited about that. I'm getting chats and comments. Hi from Mead Stampede. Oh, right. Oh, yeah, Mead Stampede is happening today. Today's the first day of Mead Stampede. I was thinking it wasn't going to be till tomorrow, but I did see the comment today that today is the first day of Mead Stampede. I got 2 meads that are over being judged there today, during the competition. So I'm hoping that those turn out really well. And TK Drinks is a sponsor of the Jamboree. So that's the Mead Stampede award ceremony. So anybody out there who checks out that award ceremony, TK Drinks is helping fund that project. So again, this is the hopped lemon mead Tao's Beast from my buddy Stephen Clifford. So we can go ahead and get straight away into the nose. I got my score sheet here, my official BJCP score sheet. So start off straight away with the category. This is an M4C, so that's an experimental mead because it has hops in it. That's a non-traditional, quote unquote, ingredient in there. So we're definitely gonna, if TK and Drinks is making one, I would put that into that category myself, because everything I've read. Let's try one of the new features of TK and Drinks on the YouTube. So this is actually one of the features I wanted to check out. So let's do some split screen action. So we're going to share TK's screen, the BJCP program. I'm hoping you guys can't see my little menu right here. Let me know if you can see my little menu. All right, so here we go. BJCP website. We've got the M4C experimental meads. So that basically sells us any experimental mead using An experimental mead using additional sources of fermentables, maple syrup, molasses, brown sugar, agave. We didn't use any of those, I don't believe. Or additional ingredients, liquid, smoke, or alternative processes, icing, fermentation with non-traditional yeasts, or use of other ingredients or processes and techniques that would not be appropriate in any other category or appropriate in this category. So I didn't see hops anywhere else. The only other place I would have potentially seen it would be in the I was thinking it possibly in the fruit and spice category. So I'm not quite sure. So okay, so let me know what screen you guys can see right now. Can you see my screen sharing screen? So is it like like a Mobius of like screen, 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 or is it just like the like can you only see the BJCP screen and then me down in the little window? Or are you guys seeing all my notifications popping up on my laptop? Because I think that'd be kind of funny if you guys could see all the stuff I'm doing behind the scenes. I think the program's pretty well in tune to not do that based on other people's. Um, so you're just seeing this two screens. Awesome. Let's see. I could highlight your comment. You see just the two screens. Yes. Love that. So definitely digging that. All right. So let's get straight away into the rest of this mead review. So we're going to go ahead and kill the split screen, bring Papa Bear back up to the main screen. There we go. All right. So first up is going to be aroma. We don't know much anything else about this. Sorry, I should probably finish going down the score sheet. So it's M4C experimental subcategory, again, experimental carbonation level. It looks still, sweetness not declared on there. But we'll leave that till we get to the taste test before I go back and check that box. And then the strength, it says 12.6%. So that does put it in our standard category, standard being between 7 and 14. Below 7 is the hydromel, or like your low ABV stuff. Anything above 14% is what they consider sack, or like a higher ABV mead. So straight away, tons of lemon, tons of hop in there. It almost smells like an IPA or something very hop forward, like a nice Pilsner. Very floral, fruity. I'm getting tons of that lemon character coming through. I don't know how he applied the lemon to this, but it's very not like, doesn't smell like pledge, doesn't smell like cleaning agent. It smells very clean. I like it. It's very pleasant. I like that. Mm. Woo! That's tart. I got some puckering in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that be my preliminary taste. And so we can go back and revisit it here later on. So initially very tart, very puckery, not super sweet. Let's revisit that after we get through the bouquet and aroma and the appearance. So like I said, floral. I don't get any necessarily honey characteristic to it. It's like so true to like a natural lemon, like, which I'm really impressed by, having worked with lemon before. It like everything I everything that I worked with came out very zesty, kind of had that like lemon oil, lemon essence in it. This doesn't. This is very much more like, I guess, for lack of a better term, lemon juice. But I'm not quite sure that how he applied that lemon to it. Tart from, it's definitely, I'm guessing it's going to be tart from the lemons that are in there. I'm guessing it was more from that little quick taste. It was more of like a lemon juice presence that was added after fermentation. Um, but I'll have to ask Steven. Again, like I was saying, I was hoping he was going to be able to pop in the live stream and answer some of these questions for me, but unfortunately, that's not the case. So, bouquet and aroma says, say, comment on the honey expression, the alcohol, the esters, the complexity, and the other and any other aromatics that you see or smell, not see. So like I said, I don't really pick up anything honey characteristics, like for any specific honey varietals. There is like an underlying sweetness that does come through from the honey. No raw alcohol, doesn't have that like rubbing alcohol or any unfermented or hyper green, like fresh, like just got done fermenting type of characteristics to it. It does have a nice complexity to it. Like I said, it's floral, it's bright, it's zesty, it's citrusy, but it's not unpleasant any characteristics. So out of 10, I'm gonna go ahead and give this one a I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10 because it's very welcoming. It draws you in. It wants to bring you into that nose. And it wants you to just like live right there. Just constantly smell that, just like a nice bright characteristics. Like you wish you had candles that were like this fragrant when you light them. Like every time you get a candle and it's not fragrant, it's like, "God damn, I wish it was like that lemon hop mead that I had." I know that's not really the case, but it should be. All right, so 9 out of 10 on the bouquet roll. Appearance, this is gonna go pretty quick. You've got a nice, um, I would call this like a light amberish color, golden light amber hue. No floaties, no particulates, no bubbles. If I can get a quick, oh yeah, it's definitely got lots of legs to it. So it's definitely got a nice. It's gonna. I'm perceiving a nice body to it. It's gonna be nice and thick and heavy on the mouth feel. I'm hoping. Otherwise, that all that those legs are of kind of a lie, which makes me kind of sad. So it does look kind of caramelly on the camera. In the light here, and again, like I was saying, like these aren't the color of lights that I was really hoping for, but this is just a test run. I've got my studio lights that I used to use still down. I can pull those out and pop them into the background here, and get this to be the color that I'm really looking for. Well, I'm glad it looks good on camera. Thank you for that heads up. All right. So again, appearance, all that's looking good. Hue, clarity, no particulates, no floaties. Legs are looking good. A meniscus. So if you can tilt your mead like this and you try to look at the area right here where the mead meets the glass, it causes what's called the meniscus. That's where the surface tension around the outside of whatever vessel you're drinking out of pulls the liquid up, and it kind of creates this like contact lens, this concave type of shape to it, just ever so slightly around the outside. And one of the things you can tell for it is something that's been oxidized or had exposure to too much oxygen, or if it's like barrel aged or something like that, you can get that meniscus color will take on like kind of a reddish or like a hue of tannins, like tea, kind of like a reddish brown type of hue. This is very much in the clear. So this hasn't been barrel aged or probably any tea tannins or anything like that added in there. So we're definitely happy with all that. Appearance, it's pretty hard to not get a 6 on appearance from me, or a 6, at least a 5 or a 6, because you'd have to have something floaty, like particulates that weren't like even leftover like mead chunks of stuff that was fermented. Like if it's fruit or something, I usually give a pass. It usually has to be something like you can tell that like there's leftover yeast that didn't get filtered out or something like that. Fruit chunks good, yeast not so good, in my opinion. All right, so now let's get back to that flavor. So again, our initial taste, we had that tart up front, kind of slightly sweetening towards the back, but I would definitely say, if I had to guess on the sweetness level, this is going to be on the semi-sweet to sweet side, but the juxtaposition between the acidity levels and what tannic value is there is going to cut that sweetness down. So I would have to say it's probably a sweet mead that's really well balanced. So it perceives as something lower than the sweet mead. Oh yeah, nice thick mouthfeel. Again, very tart up front, drying on the tongue straight away. Actually, I take it back. It's not drying. It's like if you ever have like sour candies that like citric acidity, where it like kind of when you eat too many like sour gummy worms, it kind of like burns your tongue a little bit from all that citric acid crystals that's on there. It's that same type of presence. My tongue isn't burned, but like it's reacting the same way. Like if I drank way too much of this, it might go that way. Now that might be from the lemon juice. I'm not saying that there's too much citric acid in there, but it does have that awareness and that presence of the citric acid in there. No alcohol in the retro. Swish around your mouth. Take a breath in, possibly with some still in your mouth. No, again, no fusel alcohols. If there's any something like that, that's where those will show up and kind of take your breath away from you a little bit. That one is nice and clean. Actually comes off very, again, the lemon profile on this is profoundly like true to lemon character. I'm gonna have to ask him much more about how he did this, and with the clarity and everything, I'm highly impressed by this. And Stephen has been a wonderful follower of mine. He's been following me religiously, I would say, almost on the Instagram. So I'm really bummed that I don't see him over here on the live chat here and on the YouTube. But it is what it is. I think it's going to take a while for people to make their way over here. You see people walking around and stuff back behind outside here at the house. So flavor again, so sweetness, honey presence. I don't get anything necessarily specific of any honey variety, so it's probably a wildflower. Um, Cutting down that acidity and that tartness and tanginess from the lemons. Um, it's very wonderful altogether. Tannic value, so I would say if anything, it could probably use a little more tannins. Um, yeah, so the acidity and the sweetness are there. A tannic value, something nice and drying on the back of the palate, I think would help round this out a little bit more. The body again, nice, heavy, thick mouthfeel. Aftertaste, it lingers. A good 4, 5, 6, 7 seconds. I know that's kind of a long stretch, 4 to 8 seconds, but I mean it continues to just go the longer you sit there, kind of pull it out of the recesses of your mouth. And man, it continues to just bring forward that like really pleasant lemon characteristic. Like I said, if anything else, I could say, uh, it could use a little more tannic presence in it. Said there's no alcohol aftertaste. No, fortunately and very pleasantly, there's no alcohol aftertaste, not in the retro. So when you do that's usually where you can get the strongest presence of any fusel alcohols or any raw type of alcohol characteristics. There's none there. That's just wonderful lemon essence. It's just exactly what you would want it to be. Something to say lemon and hop, and that's another thing that I keep skipping over on the taste bill. But the hop character is there, very true. It's floral and green, but like not like green like raw alcohol or raw fermentation, but green like bright and zesty, like everything that you picture for hops, in like a nice, well balanced, hop forward beer. You're getting those light characteristics coming through here that are very pleasantly meshing with the lemon. I don't know what excuse me, I don't know what type of uh hop he used, but it's absolutely phenomenal. So no carbonation to speak of. Um, Thankfully for this, because he didn't declare it. But if it did have some carbonation, I think that would actually brighten it up a little bit and make it into a whole different beast. I don't want to say somebody should carbonate or shouldn't carbonate a mead, because that really changes the whole characteristic of it. But if it was carbonated, I think that would also make it a even more interesting mead for me personally. So flavor, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 19. Just because I think it could do, like I said, a little bit better on the balancing of the tannic presence to the acidity and the sweetness that's there. And overall, I'm highly impressed with this one. I'm gonna give it a 9. So if we add up our scores, a 9 and a 9 is a 18, and a 19 is 37 plus 6. That's up to a 43. So the last few meads I've had have all been in this upper category, which is legitimate. Really say world class, but certainly exemplary. Can't say that word. Exemplary of their styles. This is a lemon hop mead that is doing everything that it should do. Lemon characteristic, hop characteristic, it well balanced, well in both aromatics and in flavor profile. So um, anybody who follows my man Stephen Clifford over on Instagram, reach out to this cat. He may or may not have a bottle of this left that he would be willing to do a trade with you for. I'm not sure, but again, the Tao's Beast, and this thing is a lemon hop monster. So that was yeah, we got the review done. We've got the whole video thing going on. We did a little switch back and forth with the screen sharing. So I'm learning how that works. This program is definitely pretty unique compared to just using the built-in features for YouTube or Instagram, for that matter, for my previous. So I'm definitely digging this. It's not my usual thing that I'm used to, but I think I'm coming into my own with it. And there we go. Get that switch back there. Cover up the KitchenAid a little bit. Actually, I like the KitchenAid back there. It's a good color. I got my wife gunmetal because it's my favorite color. And she doesn't care because she just got the KitchenAid. That was more important to her than the color, right?
I think I told you don't get me a fucking pink one.
I think, you know, that might have been her very words, was don't get me a fucking pink one. Because, you know. Anyway, let's get on to some more screen sharing. You deleted your Instagram account, so I could not watch. Hey, no reason to be sorry, Miss Cynthia. I'm not going to even hold anything against you for deleting an Instagram account. That place is a toxic hellhole at times. So, family's doing good. Kids are doing good. My oldest son, he's 15. The younger son is just turned 12 like last week. And we moved to Virginia about 6 weeks ago at the end of May. Probably, I think we arrived in Virginia on like May 29th. So we're living here full time. Got a gig working at a defense contractor, another machine shop, working in quality, and it's everything I ever wanted precision or precise to be. They say what they're going to do and they do it. Good benefits, good, work ethic, good culture there. Probably not quite as advanced as Precise, to be fair, like not as far along in their progression of their business, but instead of aerospace stuff, it's all naval. So tons and tons of naval work and everything, which is really cool because it's supporting nuclear subs, nuclear ships, regular, I guess, diesel ships or something, whatever I'm assuming they still use diesel ships here and there. But yeah, so it's a naval contractor and provider. So I'm really happy with that because it's a fun job that's actually makes, what I'm doing fun. All right, let's get into some screen sharing. And thank you for asking, Miss Cynthia. That's very polite of you. So TK and drinks, one of the things that we want to do while we're doing our TK and drinks things is focus on some mead competitions and places that are hosting mead related things as far as competitions go, because not all of them are competitions. They all happen to be today, but sometimes they're like state fairs, which I guess are still technically competitions, but I don't necessarily view them always as competitions because they don't list themselves that way. I guess, I don't know, it's kind of silly. But the first one we want to talk about today is the mead competition called Mead Me in St. Louis. And the reason I'm bringing this one up is because it's a mead specific and exclusive competition that you don't always come across those on a regular basis. There's few and far between. I mean, we have a lot more compared to other countries, and that's one of the things when I talk to like European mead makers, they complain about, I say complain, they always comment about how many mead competitions, especially mead exclusive competitions, we have here in the States versus how many they have there in Europe. So anytime I can get opportunity to, give some love to a mead exclusive competition, and this is, I guess, mead and cider too, as we can see here, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So yeah, this is called Mead Me in St. Louis. I did a little spotlight on them last week, but wanted to go ahead and give them a shout out this week as well. And one of the things we're noticing, this is not actually open for entry registration. So you can go ahead and get your account registered if you don't already have one registered with them, but you cannot enter until August 5th. So you got a few weeks before you can actually start entering your meads. But it's going to be I think this is a fairly small competition. So if we go over here to the info tab, so you can create your account through the 30th, but you will not be able to add entries until the 5th through the 30th. $10 an entry. Again, here's all your styles, pretty much all the normal, uh, all the mead ones, and then your cider ones as well. I'm not really sure on traditional cider ones, but there you go. Entries up to 8 entries, so that's actually quite a bit um, for a competition. Most entries, competitions have an entry limit of somewhere like 3 and 5. So for this one to have 8 is pretty pretty high up there. So, and that's nice that you only need 2 bottles in entry. A lot of competitions have 3 bottles required for entry. So you got 2 bottles here. Probably have to mail them in. Here's your addresses for places where you can drop them off. Always go ahead and double check that you can mail stuff in. I don't think shipping info. Knew I was getting down there. So carefully line them, give you some good practices for packaging your boxes. Here's judging is going to happen. First sorting will happen on the 31st. First judging is on the 6th, and then through the 7th. And if they have a live award ceremony, I would imagine it would happen after that. Award ceremony is going to be at Alpha Brewing there in St. Louis, Missouri on the 7th. Imagine if you can make it there, you'd be more than welcome to hang out, have some beers, and check out the ceremony live. So Mead Me in St. Louis, again, Mead exclusive competition here. So start getting your entries lined up for that one. Next, we got the 2024 Minnesota State Fair Homebrew Competition. So this one is one that has already started taking entries. I wanted to bring this one up because they're actually almost full. So they've got 304 entries added to their system. And I want to say this one is a total of 400. So they've got less than 100 entries left. So, and they're going to 6/10 through 8/9. So you've got a few more weeks left on that if you want to get some in Minnesota. That's a good spot to ship to right now because it's not 1.5 million degrees like if you were shipping to like California, Arizona, or pretty much anywhere south of the Mason-Dixon line right now. It's basically just hotter than crap. So good one to enter in for safe shipping practices, and depending on where you're shipping from, but safer than a lot of cats. This one, let's get over to our info tab. There we go. Stupid freaking touchpad mouse. All right, here we go. $10 an entry. They've got all the beers. And then here we go. We got some cider styles here, a Perry, and then all your meads down there as well. Entry level 400 paid entries. This one's limited to 10 entries per person, but 1 entry per subcategory. So only one, dry berry mellow mel, or one, sweet fruit and spice mead or whatever. But you can enter up to 10 different categories, and that's a lot. So we're looking at 2 bottles per entrance. So that would be a total of potentially 20 bottles you could be sending off, which is not a small amount of mead to be sending out. Get some good practices on labeling your bottles and entering those in there. Drop off locations. Here's your shipping info, packaging and shipping, all that stuff. So everything's on there. These guys are going on sorting on the 11th and sessioning the 16th and the 17th with award ceremony if they end up having one. Live. I mean, when I say live, I meant live streaming. Obviously, they're going to have an award ceremony live, given this right here. So if you can get to Minnesota Craft Brewers Guild area in the Horticulture Building on Saturday the 24th at 1 p.m. Central Time, you can be there and be a part of that whole situation. So, and then the other competition I want to bring up is called the 7th Mo Mash In. I'm not quite sure. See here, what Mo Mash In. Oops, that was the wrong one. There we go, back in 7th Mo Mash. I don't know what the 7th is. I'm guessing it's 7th annual, and next year will be the 8th Mo Mash In and all that stuff. But it does not say here specifically. And the reason I wanted to bring this one up and give them some love, because they have a 200 entry limit, and they've currently only got 38 entries, and not even technically 38 entries, only 20 paid entries. So they've only had half of that amount of entries in the competition. And they've been open and taking entries since in Entries as of Friday, July 19th. 38 entries have been added as of this paid entries. Entries have been accepted since, all right, so that's what entries accepted as of 2/23/24. So these guys have been taking entries since February, and they've only got 38 people entered, and only 20 of those 38 people have paid. So this is definitely a competition I would consider entering. Let's get over to the info tab to make sure I didn't mess up. $9 an entry, so that's even less than the other styles. The other two competitions that we entered, styles accepted. They got most of the beer styles here, and then oh yeah, okay. So this one was actually a beer only. So for all my home brewers, not mead makers out there, so this is when you definitely want to start getting some entries in as soon as possible, because they are going to stop taking entries on the 12th of August. So you're still a month to put in there. But again, these guys have been taking entries since February. So that's like a good 4 or 5 months now. So you've got a solid chance to get some entries in there, and get some, really win some medals. So 6 entries limit per person. Again, at $9 an entry, which is nice. Shipping info down here is where you can ship them in. Judging session Friday, August 16th. And award ceremony does not look like they are unfortunately offering that in person. But like I said, with the limited amount of entries that are currently in this one, that's a real opportunity to go in, get some real constructive criticism about your mead, or your homebrew beers only. No meads in this one. But let's give these guys a quick shout out. And man, if that's their 7th annual one, and they've only pulled in so many right now, I'm not sure what's going on with that. It makes me wonder if they didn't have some sort of situation, or some sort of, maybe they did missed a year during like COVID and they've never quite recovered from that. But any homebrew competition out there um, that explicitly caters to like homebrewers and stuff, let's give those guys some love and some attention out there, especially if you want some medals, because you've definitely got a real chance with these guys right here. And I did have one more. It wasn't on the competition platform, but this is again now exclusive for Virginia, the Virginia Mead Cup Amateur Homebrewers. These guys currently only have 24 out of 100. So we've got a significant amount to go on that. And this is going to be one of the next mead only competitions after the Mead Me in St. Louis. So go ahead and get your entries into the Virginia Mead Cup as well. Now that is going to be going on in tandem with the East Coast. I think they brought them back together. So MeadCon 2024. So anybody who's going to be at MeadCon, they're going to be doing, presentations. They're going to be doing tasting events. They're going to be doing all the stuff that they usually do at the MeadCon. So go ahead, and if you can make your way out to Roanoke, Virginia at Atheling Mead Works, in September, they're going to have this whole thing going on. Definitely look up and look into it. They got the social medias. Go on to Atheling, get a hold of Steven Osborne over there. He's the one who's heading all this stuff up. He's going to have all that information for you. But again, there's a low entry count competition that you could really get some medals in, and get, again, some quality feedback on your meads and whatnot. So I'm just going back over here on my end, checking out the comments. Doesn't look like we've had too many people else jump in here tonight, unfortunately, but it is what it is. I was expecting it to be kind of a low viewership night. But one of the things I did want to get into as well is a few mead related kind of like news type of things. So those folks over at Blissful Folly Farms, or Rohan Meadery, so they've got their reserve sherry oak aged cherry mellow melon. That's one of the things I wanted to focus on. You don't see a lot of sherry oak aged anything in the mead world. It's usually a bit kind of say on the salty side, so to speak. But this one is supposedly very pleasant, nice. I have not had this one, but I have had a few of their one of their other like reserve meads. It was a cranberry one that I had and during the holiday time. And I'll tell you what, if this one is anything like that other reserve mead, that's definitely one you're gonna want to pick up. They pretty sure they do ship on Vino Shipper, so give those guys a shout out and a look over there at Blissful Folly Farms and Rohan Meads. Now, This is one I've been kind of excited to share with people. I've been a huge fan of these guys over here at Retro Meadery for a significant amount of time. Oh, and I meant to do it on their Facebook page because their Instagram didn't have all of it, but I'll pull up a little bit of what I can. So these guys at Retro Meadery are in North Carolina, kind of closer to the ocean in, I say, Wilmington. Now they're getting ready to open a tasting room. I'm not quite sure where it's at exactly. This is the post about it. So they're, getting it knocked down and everything. But one of the things they are doing as well is retro meadery. You can think retro, goes back to like 70s, 80s, and whatnot. So they're picking up like different like retro video game machines to have in their tasting room. So they've got an Area 51 with the guns. That's going to be freaking awesome. They got some pinball machines. I think it's just the King of the Jungle pinball machine. Nope, they say they got both of those. The pinball machines that we have. 73 Gym works wonderfully. Probably get some TLC on there. So they got Flop and this King of the Jungle, which is legit. Alf, gotta love Alf. And where was the other one? They had one more. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and go pull them up over on the Facebook. Y'all can watch me do this. I was gonna do it low key. But before I'm just gonna do it this way. Before I get into retro, what the rest of retro has, one of the places that you should follow if you're here on Instagram or on Facebook, here on Facebook or on Instagram, I should say, is a place called Mea Culpa Meadery. Now these guys are home brewers that had taken a step away from the mead thing for a while to handle some personal family business and whatnot. But they are back and trying to get back into the whole scene and everything like that. I've had a few of their meads at shares, and these guys, if you want to be in like the cool kids mead club or whatever you want to call it, like these are some guys you need to follow. These guys make amazing meads for home brews, have some really cool wacky labels. Not to say that there aren't other people out there as well that have those things, but this is one that I've had that I would recommend checking out as well. So let's check out Retro Meadery, because I want to show you what they've got, because I think it's a really kick-ass thing. Everything that they're doing as far as rebuilding this place. So they got an Asteroids machine, and they've got the a driving one. This is the Sega Turbo, the IndyCar one. There's the Asteroids. Whoops. Back out of that. And there's some more breakdown. Carmen Sandiego inspired mead. And I had this already all keyed up where it was. I must have deleted. All right, so here's one. They got another driving game. Not quite sure what that one is. Picked up teaser number 8. Picked another cabinet steel, was broken. Just needed a new video cable. Tiato, an Italian, looking like an Italian racing game. The old school Outrun for the Sega. Man, who didn't play that back in the day when at the arcade? That was probably one of the better the racing games in my opinion. There's Mike doing an interview. Ooh, and they got a sit-down table. Yes. Do you remember those at your local Pizza Hut, dude? Who didn't have it? Maybe yours wasn't Space Invaders. Maybe it was Ms. Pac-Man or Galaga. But the one you could actually sit at and bring your pizza and sit on the table and have the little TV in the table, man, that was the business. This one looks like a little more advanced. Mine only ever had 2. This one's got 1 on each end and then 2 on the front like this. So that's actually a pretty cool cabinet that he's got there. So, and then he's got an an SNK Neo Geo system. Now, Neo Geo was always one of my favorites. I was a huge Metal Slug fan. But back in the day, the Neo Geo was like $800 in like 1993. So I mean, in 1993 dollars, I think it was like $1,600 for a video game system, when you could go buy a SNES or a Sega Genesis for $200 or $300. So it definitely didn't get any love, but tons of games on that. I'm sure they're going to have a huge. It looks like you said they're going to do a projector or connected to a giant TV or something like that. So you can definitely expect like Final Fight or Fatal Fury, any sort of like those Neo Geo fighters, and yeah, hopefully you can get in some Metal Slug in there as well. If they have Metal Slug, you can find me at that cabinet. And they had okay, so here's a couple other ones. The Mountain Dew machine. So apparently in 2008, Mountain Dew ran a promo and had these arcades, and they managed to end up finding one on the secondhand market. So it's got the roller ball in case you've got some bowling games in there. It's got the 2 sticks, got multiple sets of buttons on there. So imagine it's probably some sort of like Raspberry Pi emulator in there. It looks like they're currently running Rampage. You can see Lizzie and the Wolf thing. I can't remember what all their names are, but so it's probably gonna have Atari games, probably SNES games, Sega, who knows, whatever. But that's a cool ass Mountain Dew cabinet. Look, that's so retro, just like their name. All right, Area 51 with the guns. We talked about that one already. Some more. Okay, so there's the King of the Jungle cab for the pinball, and then the other pinball cab right there. And this is the one right here. This is the one I wanted to show you. And of course, it's the first teaser. Teaser time. They were able to scoop up a Hydro Thunder jet boat racing cabinet. It's got the seat you sit in. It's got the full steering wheel. Like unlike the other ones that just have the steering where you stand up, this one's you can actually sit down on and race. That was one of my favorite games. I was a huge Dreamcast fan. I've been a Sega fan, like fanboy since I was, about this tall. And Hydro Thunder was probably the first game I picked up for my Dreamcast when I got that. So seeing these guys pick up Hydro Thunder cab made me just like, man, have all sorts of nostalgic feelings and whatnot. So shout out to those guys. Go follow Retro Meadery, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. I'm not sure if they're on YouTube. I think they are, but go follow them on any of the socials that you can, because I've been a huge supporter of these guys since the beginning of their whole experience and whatnot. So go ahead and kill that screen share. Oh, so it was, yeah, you're right. It was just showing me in St. Louis. Oh, I don't know why it was doing that. That's really a bummer. I'm sorry, Miss Cynthia. I didn't see that while I was showing my thing around, because I had, not was sorry, got me stumbling because trying to figure this out. I was not aware of that because I couldn't see my screen and screen at the same time. So now I hit screen and screen. I wonder if I have to go back each time. Chrome tab. Okay, so here we go. Chrome would like to share you with Studio Restream, the site that will be able to content. This site will be able to see the content on your screen on a specific tab. No, my window. Oh, Windows. No, tabs. Oh, okay. So I actually have to select each tab individually. Oh, that's really unfortunate. Especially since it's really not showing me the tabs for that. All right, let's go here. See if this shows it. I'll go back over that retro thing real quick. No, because it was supposed to be on their Facebook page. Well, at least now you're seeing Retro's Instagram. Okay, so now I've got that part figured out. Okay, so now we got that, how to work that. So let's go ahead and see if we can do a screen share with Facebook. There it is. Okay, let's try this again. All right, so now I can go double check over here. Yes, excellent. Okay, now you're seeing it. So go ahead, go back over here. Okay, so here's the Hydro Thunder cabinet. So again, this is a jet boat racing game. Super excited about that. There's the pinball cabs. They got this Jungle King, it's like a George of the Jungle type of pinball theme here. There's the Area 51 cabinet with the guns. It's a stand-up one. I had that one on my Sega Saturn with the little guns. All right, so there's that Mountain Dew cab I was talking about. Look at that cool, crazy retro with the grid on it. Like Tron, but green and yellow instead of like blue and red. Playing Rampage. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm 99.99% sure that's Rampage. Finally got their approval, so they're definitely moving forward with that. This is again weeks ago. It looks like a week ago. So there's the SNK Neo Geo cab. So it's actually, like I said, was saying, it's just the base. So I'm assuming the computer and everything is in there. There's the quarter machine, and then they'll hook up the TV or the projector or whatever to it. That's the old school style one we were talking about, having it like Pizza Hut or whatever. Again, the ones I saw only had the two on this end and this end over here. I've never seen the one with the one on each end and then two on the front side, so to speak. That's a new one for me. Mike doing an interview, looks like with the local news, WETECT. So that's very awesome. Mike's the homie over there. Like, I dig everything these guys do. So there's the Outrun cabinet. Again, probably one of my more favorite racing games for the cabinet, the Bob Raspberry. Ooh. So here we go. I hope you guys got this pop-up on there. If you didn't, so these guys sending out a whole message about when he's going live in 30 minutes on his YouTube. So I wonder if I can do mine like that. Send out a message so everybody gets a blast before I go live. There's that other racing game. I can't quite read what the name of that is. I was reading this earlier, the Tiero or whatever, but that's the name of the game. I can't quite read that. If anybody's recognizes it, go ahead and holler out in the chat. And then last but not Carmen San Diego. Last but not least, so there's the quick little redo where they're burning down the inside, getting it all demoed and ready to go for their tasting room. So they're going to start putting all their stuff in there. And this was 2 days ago, so hopefully they got that mostly maxed out at this point. And then there's the Asteroids machine and the Sega Turbo. And there's like their floor cleaner and stuff. So they've definitely got their things going on over there at Retro. Yeah, Tiato is the company. Okay, so yeah, I figured that was the case. You would know because you've got the cab. What was the one you said that you had? The Arabian cab. I'm not quite even sure what that is, but that sounds really cool. I used to repair cabinets when I worked for Peter Piper Pizza and Pistol Pete's Pizza. Oh, see, now that's really cool. I never ran across somebody who used to repair them. Only people that collect them and have them repaired by other people. So this is a very cool thing that you do there, Miss Cynthia. I'm always impressed by the amount of knowledge that you have. Pretty much when it comes to everything, you're a very knowledgeable person, and I'm happy to have you in my life and appreciate you being one of my friends. So this drink goes out to Miss Cynthia. And yeah, I can almost guarantee that you would be in love with this. We'll see what we can do about getting you one of these bottles in the future. I don't know how I can send you any messages if you're not on Instagram, because I don't know what the if you're on. Are you on Facebook still, or I don't want to. Well, I mean, I guess I don't really have any problems blasting my phone number out there. It's already on my Instagram page anyway. But I'd love to get a hold of you and reconnect and whatnot, and be able to get you one of these bottles. So we'll make that happen. I'm fairly confident in that. Arcade Heroes 2, Chase HQ2. I'm not quite sure. You do not have a Facebook account either. All right. Well, let's see here. Here you go, internet. Do your worst. Arcade Heroes Chaos 2 HQ was that cabinet. Man, you could pick all that up from just that little screenshot. That's freaking amazing. Save my number in there. Shoot me a text sometime. If you can you see my number in the chat is a better question, because I just typed it into the chat. I don't know if that's showing over on the YouTube chat. I'm assuming it's showing up on the YouTube chat screen, but
you let people know you're one of those that don't care about nobody else's life and everybody gets locked out after 10 o'clock.
Done. I've done change that. You're in 7. Yeah, I know I'm in 720p for whatever reason. I see your number. I wonder if I still have it in my phone. Okay, yeah. So if you don't have it in your phone, add it back into your phone and shoot me a text sometime. And we can reconnect. And like I said, we can get you a couple of bottles of mead when it's not 1.5 million degrees outside there in Phoenix, so they don't sit there and boil on your front porch, so to speak. Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate your popping in, Miss Cynthia, and anybody else who happens to be watching but not commenting. I always, like I said, yeah, any of the lurkers out there, I always appreciate anybody popping in to view, even if it doesn't let me know. So I could have 155,000 viewers right now and only one person commenting, and I wouldn't know. But I don't necessarily think that's the case, but I can hope. So I think we've had a fairly successful first reboot on the YouTube through the restreaming platform. I was going to go ahead and throw my logos up there and whatnot. Have them down in like the little corner and whatnot. We're down here. I think it'll give me a little logo and whatnot. But we can work on that for another time. So I'd like to thank everybody for popping in tonight, following, watching TK and Drinks. Go ahead and subscribe here on the YouTube if you could. I would really dig having a lot of people in here and pumping up the YouTube presence. I've got a wonderful presence over there on Instagram, and I'd like to bring that over to YouTube and kind of just intermingle the two crowds and just bolster the whole process and everything all together. So I look forward to seeing you guys all next week. I'm gonna be over here again on the YouTube doing another TK and Drinks That Mead Show, and the live interviews do return in August. Hopefully they'll be here on YouTube, but they may be back over on Instagram, depending on what I can work out. So this is definitely not the last live stream for YouTube, but maybe not for interviews. Like I said, we'll play that part all by ear. So thank you guys very much for being here today. I have a wonderful rest of your night tonight, and I'll catch you all on the flip side. And again, Miss Cynthia, I look forward to hearing from you. Peace.